Welcome back to the Quackery, your no nonsense, plain English guide to what's really happening inside Taylor City Hall. Today, I want to talk about something that's about to hit the City Council agenda, a proposed tax abatement for Compal, the electronics manufacturer, planning a $200 million renovation of the Taylor Port Building. Now, on the surface, that sounds huge, and it is. But before anyone gets too excited or too worried, we need to talk about what abatements actually mean, how Taylor has handled them in the past, and what a fair deal should look like today. So let's walk through this together. First off, what's happening? The city posted a legal notice saying council will consider giving Compal a tax break at the December 11th meeting. They want to renovate the Taylor Port building, big investment, big facility, and potentially a big impact on Taylor. A tax abatement is basically the city agreeing to reduce the property taxes they normally owe, usually for several years, in exchange for the company investing in the community. Simple enough. But here's where things get complicated. Because when we talk about abatements in Taylor, we're not starting from scratch. We have a history here. In the past, many of our incentive deals were opaque, rushed, or barely explained to the public. Agreements were sometimes summarized by staff instead of being included in the packet. Votes happened quickly, while residents were left in the dark. And let's be honest, some of those abatements were extremely generous, 80 to 100% reductions for up to 10 years, with very little required from the companies in return. Meanwhile, we're all watching our own taxes go up while city services struggle to keep pace. Roads need work. Water and wastewater systems are strained. Our parks and libraries need investment. So, when another incentive comes up, it's not unreasonable for the community to say, okay, but this time let's do better. Now, there are real potential benefits, and it's important to acknowledge them. A $200 million renovation is no small thing. That's real investment into a building that's been sitting underused. If Compo creates good jobs and hires people locally, that's money staying in our community. Plus, once the abatement ends, the city gets full property taxes on a significantly improved structure. And there's the economic ripple effect, suppliers, contractors, small businesses. That's all possible. So, yes, done well, abatements can bring opportunity. But that's the key phrase, done well. Because we also know the risks. And they're not hypothetical, they're things we've lived. When the city gives away too much in tax revenue, that money doesn't magically appear elsewhere. It comes out of what we can fund: streets, drainage, parks, police, fire, libraries, all of it. And if the jobs aren't local, or the wages are low, or the facility is mostly automated, then residents don't see much direct benefit. Infrastructure matters too. Industrial water use and wastewater load can strain our systems. Trucks affect traffic and road conditions. Big facilities can bring noise, light, and environmental impacts if not properly managed. And once the city gives one large company a big abatement, every company after that expects the same. So, yes, there is real upside and real downside. That's why the details matter so much. So, what does a fair deal actually look like? Not a giveaway, not a blank check, not another just trust us, we'll explain later. A fair deal means balance. The city gives something, and the community gets something real in return. For example, instead of an 80 to 100% abatement for 10 years, a fair structure might be 50 to 60% for 5 to 7 years. Still supportive for the company, but not devastating to the city's revenue. It also means requiring local hiring, 40 to 50% of permanent jobs going to Williamson County residents. And not symbolic hiring either, actual recruitment posted locally before they hire externally. And the jobs need to be good jobs with real wages. Something like a $20 an hour minimum is reasonable in today's market, especially for advanced manufacturing. Then there's community benefit. If we're investing in them, they should invest in us through contributions to parks, infrastructure near the site, youth STEM programs, or public safety equipment. Other cities do this all the time. Environmental protections matter too: water usage reporting, stormwater controls, emergency response planning, and perhaps the most important piece, clawbacks. If the company doesn't meet the job numbers, the investment levels, or the timelines they promised, then they should pay back a proportional amount of the tax break. It's basic fairness and basic accountability. And finally, transparency. Annual public reporting, clear metrics, information on jobs, wages, investment, water use, and the exact dollar amount the city is foregoing. Posted online, easy to find, easy to understand. Because if we're going to do this, we deserve to see the full picture. And that brings us to the questions residents should be asking. Not hostile questions, just responsible ones. What percentage of taxes is Compal asking to be exempt from? And for how many years? How many local jobs will this actually create? What will the wages be? How much water will the facility need? Can our wastewater system handle it? What is the total amount of tax revenue Taylor would be giving up? Will the full agreement be published before the vote? And what happens if Compal doesn't meet their commitments? These are basic questions. Every single one of them deserves a clear answer because the stakes are real. If we don't set expectations now, if we don't insist on fair terms, we repeat the old pattern: high abatements, low accountability, vague promises, millions lost from the city budget, and residents absorbing the cost through higher taxes and strained services. We've seen that movie. We don't need a sequel. At the end of the day, a tax abatement is just a tool. It can help Taylor or it can hurt Taylor, depending on how it's used. But after years of opaque, lopsided agreements, we deserve a new standard, one where community benefit is real, transparency is automatic, and accountability is built into the deal from day one. That's what a fair deal looks like. Not anti development, not anti growth, just pro Taylor. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged. More ducks in the pond, more voices in the conversation.